Hey guys, in this video I would like to talk about Shadowhunters Season 3, Episode 3, What Lies Beneath. One of the things I disliked the most about this episode is just the design of the owl. I have no idea why they consistently call him the owl, because to me his face looks nothing like an owl, and I don't understand why they keep calling him like an owl-faced demon. And maybe I'm biased because owls are my favorite animal, and the owl in the show is very ugly, and so I don't want him to look like an owl, but he doesn't look like an owl, and so the name bothers me. I also love how the woman screams for help and the police car is literally right there within like 2 seconds. When Magnus walks in on Izzy and Alec talking and they get like weirdly quiet, and Alec kind of like dismisses him really quickly, like not dismisses like tells him to leave, but just kind of like closes off and doesn't share what's going on until Izzy's like, Mom's coming to visit. I don't like the way that plays out. It bothers me a little bit, to be honest, because like I get Alec being a little reluctant, but at the same time, as soon as Izzy's like, Mom's coming to visit, Alec's telling Magnus everything. There's definitely tension in that scene that's like meant to make you uncomfortable, I think, so maybe it's just that, but it's just weird how that scene plays out. I hate the Heidi storyline so much. I hate everything about the Heidi storyline. I'll talk more about that when I talk about the later episodes, but it's just, we really get the start of that here, and I hate it. And as someone who has a blood phobia, watching a lot of the Heidi stuff is extremely uncomfortable, and this reminded me how much I hate that storyline, and I'm not looking forward to rewatching it. Rewatching this episode also made me think about how much I wish I liked Ollie more than I do, because this is around the time in the series where I started to find her really annoying, and it got steadily worse, and I really wanted to like her as a character, so that's really disappointing to me. The scene of Alec cooking and Magnus helping him secretly was just adorable, and I loved everything about that scene and everything about Maris coming and Maris and Magnus getting along so well, and Alec being kind of confused but really excited about it, and then finding out that his cooking sucks when he always thought it was good, and just everything about that part of this episode was amazing, and I loved every second of it. Luke talking about Simon and using Simon as an example for why knowing about the shadow world is dangerous also kind of breaks my heart a little bit, and I love anything where you see how Luke has been a father figure for both Simon and Clary, and just I love that scene so much. There's also a scene in this episode where Maya tells Simon not to like sulk alone or something like that, and like he needs to open up to her, which is also ironic in light of later episodes. So I think that's everything I have to say for this episode. I will see you guys later. Bye!